What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you the best settings for Call of Duty Vanguard. These settings are going to be for the best frames and for quite possibly the best movement in the game, because there is some tricky settings in there that over time that, eventually I found out from, doing my experiments myself and talking to other players. So make sure you guys stay tuned so I can break it down for you. Hey guys, quick interruption before we get back into the video. If you guys did miss it a couple weeks ago, we did partner with Flipz pretzels. Flipz pretzels is the best chocolate covered pretzels on the market, and they just released two new products, that being Flipz bites and my personal favorite, Flipz stuffed. These are peanut butter filled chocolate covered pretzel greatness. And listen, let me give you a little tip. You throw them in the fridge for a couple minutes, get them a little cool down, and they become the perfect gaming snack. Your fingers won't even get dirty. If you guys do want to check them out, hit the first link down below in the description. And remember, these are my favorites, so I'd highly recommend these and the new bites. Check it out in the description, and you guys comment down below if you've had Flipz before or if you're gonna try them out now. And let's get back into it. All right, and here we are, guys. We are in the Call of Duty Vanguard settings page right here. Let's just get right into it. What do you say? First off, if you're a mouse and keyboard player, I cannot help you with this section. I could have probably a couple years ago, but nowadays, not so much. So we're on controller, like you guys can see. Aside from this section, nothing to change there unless you're a keyboard and mouse player. Change your sensitivities and all of that. Let's go right to gameplay. There is some important ones in here. The first one you want to look at is slide behavior. Instead of hold, you want to change this to tap. Just like Modern Warfare or Cold War, if you guys play that, it helps your slide immensely, and you're going to get the best slide cancels in the game and maybe have some of the best movement like me and some other pro players. Second, crouch behavior. This stuff's all normal for COD. You keep it on toggle. The biggest thing, another one that is going to help your slide cancels and just your movement be a lot cleaner, is you're going to want to turn automatic airborne mantle to partial. I believe it starts on, but we're changing that to partial, and we're going to turn off both of these settings. It's just going to, like I said, make your movement a lot more smooth. This is the thing people found out a couple days into the game. It is a weird setting to change, but people have done their research, and as soon as I switched, I noticed right away. Going down the list, you got some other standard settings. Mantle stance we're not really going to mess with. If you are playing casually, not in the competitive scene, I'd have to recommend maybe using automatic sprint or automatic tactical sprint. When I play Warzone, I do use it myself, but in the comp community, we don't allow it, so I have all this stuff off. Go down, sprinting door bash. I didn't even know this is a setting, but you're gonna want to keep that on. Walk behavior. If you want to walk, I guess you can change the toggle, but it's nothing, nothing too big really. All these, not too big of a deal. I do turn blind fire off for when we're in pubs, because I rarely use the setting anyway. And if I do get into the scenario where I'm like close to a wall, I don't want to get screwed up by that. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. And then all these, really not too big of a deal. So let's just head over to the next ones. We're gonna go to graphics. You're gonna want to go down, and this is all my settings for the best performance. I'm looking for the most frames. I have a 244 hertz monitor, so I want to get all 240 of those hertz, even though it only says 239 here. I think it's just a bug with the game, but you're gonna want to put your refresh rate as high as you can, depending on what your monitor is. Turn both the V-Syncs off. I'm on custom frame rate. If your PC has a hard time handling frames, then you can turn it down, but all this other stuff is pretty standard. I have focus mode off, and yeah, that's pretty standard stuff. Another thing you want to change, though, that is like a kind of secret setting to teach you a lot more frames, is you want to turn on-demand texture streaming off. This is another one that people found at the very beginning of the game. I think it helps with packet bursts and just having a more smooth experience along the way. So definitely turn these off, and once you turn it off, it pretty much disables all these, so you don't got to worry about them. Heading over to quality, I'm on a custom quality preset. Render resolution 100. I don't think I've ever played it with more, but if it is less than 100, your game is going to look quite weird. Very, very weird, actually. But then going down, you're going to want to keep every setting basically on low. I keep bullet impact and sprays on because it might help me, in like a comp setting. If I don't know, there's times where bullets could help, or if I'm test recoil patterns, I guess on COD it'd help. But one setting that you do want to keep on high is particle quality level. This helps with, say you're using the STG and you're getting smoke at the end of your barrel and it is like clouding your red dot or your sight in a gunfight. This is going to help lower that. So if you turn it down, the smoke is going to be worse. So we want to keep it on high. As you go down, follow along, obviously keeping everything on low. Level of detail at distance, I just have on standard because I don't want it to be too bad. Tessellation I do have turned off because I'm not too worried about the very small changes that it makes, like shown in the picture. Everything else low. Volumetric quality, I have it on medium. Just, I don't know, inch to medium. You guys tell me maybe which way you're rocking, but I don't think this one really matters that big of a difference. Obviously does show stuff more clear for like fog and stuff shown in the picture, but that's, you know, that's kind of the least of my worries. But I just want to make sure it's not like blurry in general. As you go down, like I said, more low, all that stuff, particle lighting low. I guess you could turn this up if you want. I've seen a couple people play with it higher, but I think just the main one is the one up top, the particle quality, turn on high. NVIDIA DLSS, you want to turn off. This is going to help get more frames. Another setting that people have been playing on that is brand new. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I keep accidentally hitting my controller. I'm just so cracked. I just need to get into a game. But fidelity cast, you're going to want to turn on. And I have my film strength all the way up to 1. I did play with it on 80 before, and I still haven't found the sweet spot. But the one thing I do know is you want to keep it on. So make sure you go do that. And then I'd play around with where you want it in between. Like I said, I was on 0.8 before. I think that's what it's standard set to. But, you know, people go up to 1, and all in between. Anti-aliasing, I have it on the far one. I'm not too sure what this does, but this is pretty much what everyone plays on. And I have it on ultra because it really isn't messing with my frames much. Other pros might have different opinions. They might play on high or medium, but this really hasn't messed with my frames. I do have a powerful PC, so you know, if your PC is struggling again, like I was talking about earlier, you can probably turn this down a bit. Depth of field, you definitely want off. Weird new mechanic that they added. Let's go to gameplay. So for field of view, I play on 105. I think anywhere between 90 and 105 is best range. I'm a sub player, so I like to get cracked and do that. I play on affected. I used to play on an independent last COD, but independent is very weird in this game. It zooms in a lot more. But basically the big ones here, motion blur off, all this off. NVIDIA low latex. I said latex. Oh my God, low latency. You can keep it on or you could keep it on boost. But I think all you really need to do is keep it on. Camera movement at least than 50% because if you have it any higher, your just screen shakes like you're literally running IRL. So you don't want to do that. Also color customization, color filter. I like using filter 2, and we're going to change enemy color all the way to the farthest red just so it's as easy as possible to see their names. I'm not sure why it's not default to that, but other settings, I mean, we got through a lot of the big ones. This is all pretty much preference. I don't think we had to say anything for audio. I do play on headphones. That's the only one you can really play on. Back in the day, there was like super crunch, bass boost, all that, but not that anymore. A big one that is specifically for this game is I would turn on FOV counter. A reason being there is an FOV glitch going around where you might be zoomed in more than what your FOV is actually on. So like you guys can see top left of my screen, it says FOV, and hopefully, you know, before you load into a game, you could figure it out that you're not on the right one and back out so it resets. This is going to be the last one. So controller settings, I will show you all my settings that I play on. I play on 6.6, pretty standard for pro players. I feel like it's the best base sense. I do play on tactical. People play on claw, people play on default, people play on tactical. All personal preference. If you're watching this video, you probably have a preference already. If not, and I try it all out. Tactical is my favorite, so check it out. Going down, dynamic aim assist. If you guys know, dynamic is the best aim assist in the game, and no one else would tell you otherwise because since they've added it, people have shot a lot straighter. Controller vibration, turn it off. I don't know anyone that uses it besides Kenny. Pretty interesting to figure that out yesterday, that Kenny uses vibration, which is a hell of a lot. Like hella weird, but and again, I do play with my headset backwards, so what can get weirder than that? Going down, your dead zones are super important, guys. Trigger dead zones, I just keep my trigger dead zones at 9. I don't play with digital tap triggers. This is what works for me. I know people have played all around from 5 to 10 with this, but it's brand new, so it could change over time, but 9 is what I'm rocking with right now. This one has been in for like 2 CODs now, so we want to have the minimum stick dead zone from anywhere to the range of like 1 to 5. I like 4. That seems to be my sweet spot. So I'm going to put both of those at the same value, and then we're going to throw the max dead zone all the way up to 99 so we get that full range of motion. Going over to gameplay, obviously keep your aim assist on. You don't want to be one of those people that their friend turns off their aim assist and you can't shoot straight for weeks. So keep that on. Again, with movement, we're going to want to turn that to partial, guys, and the automatic airborne mantle, turn it to partial. Turn both of these off. Blind fire, I didn't even know there was another blind fire thing, so we're going to go ahead and disable that as well. And then heading down, like I said, tactical sprint, put that on if you're playing Warzone or something else, but for us, we don't use it. Tap to slide, obviously I'm going to keep it on because, you know, that is the better way to slide, like we were talking about earlier. Seems to be that there's 2 settings everywhere, so make sure you guys check out both. And then everything else here is pretty standard, man. I don't think you need to change any of this. If you do, it might be a little weird, but hey, it's cool anyway. And then you go to account network settings. Hey, it's something that is super useful. If you guys didn't get prompted with this at the beginning of the game and you did play Cold War, is you want to do go to account network and you want to click import settings. Super cool feature that they added that, you know, shows, or that's going to import, and it explains itself, man. It explains itself. You just import your settings from the other game. Yeah, basically when I logged on, half my stuff was already changed. So I recommend if it didn't prompt you when you first got on the game. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and hopefully I gave you some new settings that you didn't already have, and, you know, showed some of you our pro player secrets. Yeah, you guys leave a comment down below if you guys think there's anything else I should change. Maybe you know something that I don't, and hey, it'd be appreciated if you told me. But yeah, see you guys.